this computer. Okay. So we're going to do our opening verse, have some share time, do a story time, Norse myths for the creation myths. We'll do a drawing of how the Norse people saw the world. It's going to be more like a very colorful diagram. I can show it to you. So it'll be fun. So hope everyone has something to draw with. Then we will do a riddle story, share our rosebuds and thorns, and then we can hop off. So hopefully we can do all of that in about an hour. So for share time, how about I call on you, and then you can unmute yourselves and share what you've been up to the past week or whatever it is you want to share with us. Okay, so we'll start over there with Mackenzie.
Sorry. Why am I always the starting person? And I think we're still being recorded. Well, basically what I've been doing is a lot of crafts, a lot of Legos. I did my most recent one. After I get it over there. This is mine.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very tall though, and breakable. Okay, I guess all Legos are breakable. And that's pretty much what I've been doing besides playing with my sister.
Sounds like you've been keeping busy. Adrian, do you want to share next?
Pass.
Oh my goodness. We got to keep the tradition alive. Okay, Kieran, you're next.
I haven't been doing much, but my mom's been sewing masks. She did a mask drive, so like she did 2 days when people could come up and deliver masks, goggles, gloves, and things. I don't know, but we've sorted out some of our Legos.
Masters. Our family's
Playing games and stuff. Doing crafts. I made the bean bags. I made 4 bean bags. I don't know.
Like you've been keeping busy.
And in here, I don't have a light. Well, I do have a light, but it's not on. I have the sun. Well, it's kind of bright.
It is really bright. I had to keep moving my laptop around.
Brain.
Silas, you want to unmute yourself so that you can share?
Okay. So I made these a while ago, but they're swords. One of them is just this little one that's like the handle, and then like I put like runes on it.
Oh,
Like, and then it's,
runes?
yeah, they're runes. See?
Yep.
And then this one, which I think is one of my better swords. I think the handle on this one's really cool because the handle on this one's all rope.
It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, Simone.
We really haven't done that much, but yesterday, it was yesterday. There's like a church by our house, and it's got this big parking lot. It's a market's normally there, but we went there yesterday to try to, and I was practicing riding my bike.
That's fun. It was such a nice day yesterday. It was a good day for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, Niam, we're just we're doing a little bit of share time and catching up with everybody while everybody comes in. So I think you're next. If you want to share something that either happened in the last week or something you've been up to or something you've been interested in. And then we'll have time for our opening verse, our story, a drawing, a riddle story, and Rosebud and Thorn.
I already know my Thorn.
Can you unmute yourself? Go over to the left, the bottom.
Who?
There you go.
I helped build my brother's Lego helicopter.
There's been a lot of Legoing happening this week, I've noticed. Oh my goodness, there it is.
Hmm?
Very impressive.
What else did we do?
Cool. All right, does anybody have anything else to share? Anything? Okay, well, I think we should start by reciting our opening verse, and you can recite it at home with me if you remember it.
I missed the helicopter.
You missed the helicopter. Niam, can you show the helicopter again? Oh, it's the ambulance one. Very cool. All right. Mackenzie, can you turn a light on?
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's start with, we are truthful and helpful and loving in trust, for our hearts in the sun glows brightly in us. We will open our hearts to the sunbeams so bright, and we'll fill all the world with our hearts in our light. So that, we start talking about a brand new block. So we were talking about the Egyptians and the way they viewed the world, and we told a lot of myths that they had told. Now we're moving into the Norse gods, and the Norse peoples. So who are the Norse peoples? Does anybody know? What, Adrian?
Odin, Loki, and Thor are the main people.
They're the main gods, that's true. And who are the Norse people who told the stories about Odin and Loki and Thor? Any ideas? What's up, Mackenzie?
Loki's a trickster god.
He is?
Thor is the god of lightning, and I don't know much about Odin.
Right.
Odin is basically the god of all the gods.
He is. He's like the Zeus
Yeah.
of the Norse world. So the Norse peoples come from what part of the world?
I was raising my hand for a different question.
What's that?
I was raising my hand for a different question.
Oh, okay. What did you want to say?
I was saying that Thor wasn't only the god of lightning. He was technically the king of the gods.
Thor?
No.
No, Odin is.
Yeah, Odin.
Well, we'll talk all about them.
Probably some other book.
What I wanted to talk about first, though, was the fact that these peoples who told these stories about Thor and Odin and Loki, they were people who lived way up north. And Norse sounds a lot like North, right? They were the Norse peoples, and they lived way up in Scandinavia, Greenland, and in Denmark, and Sweden, and Norway. They went over to Ireland and the United Kingdom. And they lived a long, long time ago, and they had very different views of how the world came to be and what the world looked like. And
They were basically Vikings.
And we call them Vikings today. They did not call them Vikings in their time, but you're right. And they lived way back, maybe 900, the year 900. So we're talking over 1,000 years ago, right? A long, long time ago. And the way they viewed the world was different from the way we view it, for sure. And the stories that they told are filled with not only gods, but with giants and trolls and elves. And they had all these different worlds where all these different beings lived, right? I'm gonna just ask my family to be a little quieter because I can hear them in the background. So hang on just a second.
Finn, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. It's Finn.
Sorry about that. Before we start, I am gonna light the candle.
Finn.
Oh,
Finn.
know that this is dangerous when Teacher Demore tries to light a candle. Can you see that one?
Yeah.
At least you're not lighting it with a match.
Exactly, that's what I thought. I was like, look how safe I am. I've got a little torch, so. All right, so let's start with the first gods and giants. Early in the morning of time, there was no sun, no grass, no sand, no waves. There was no earth. There wasn't a moon or stars. There was something called Niflheim. Niflheim, it was just a waste of frozen fog. And it was Muspelheim, a place of raging flames. So there were these two worlds, one of ice and one of fire. And between them, there was a gaping pit called, you ready for this word? Ginnungagap. There were crackling embers from Muspelheim and crystals of ice from Niflheim around in the dark and dismal pit.
I think we should mute everyone.
You know, as long as everyone can stay quiet, that's fine with me. But if people want to mute themselves, that's okay. I'm not hearing a lot of background noise. So as the ice and fog and the sparks and flames whirled together faster and faster, fire kindled a spark of life within the ice. And an enormous, ugly shape arose, roaring from Ginnungagap. It was the frost giant. His name was Ymir. Now, Ymir was the first of the race of Jotuns. That's the race of giants. And at his side, a hornless ice cow came, mooing up from the pit of Ginnungagap. And together, the Jotun and the cow lived right on the rim of the gap.
Excuse me? Like,
Jotun. Yes.
Ice cow.
An ice cow. Norse myths are amazingly inventive. So
Okay, that's just weird.
Ice cow. So the Jotun did not lack for food. You might think that he would in a world of ice and fire. But there were 4 rivers of snow-white froth flowing like milk from the huge ice cow's udder. And Ymir drank and drank and grew to a towering height. Now, as for the cow, she found plenty of food, licking the salty brim of Ginnungagap. For a long time, there were only Ymir the giant, the Jotun, and the cow. Then Ymir fell into a deep, deep sleep. And here's where things get even more interesting. While he slept, a male and a female Jotun came to life in the warmth of his left armpit. And a troll with 6 heads sprouted from his feet.
This is random.
These monstrous creatures grew quickly, and they had offspring of their own. They were all big and rough and wild, and Ymir was the biggest and wildest of them all. The ice cow, lest you think she was just loafing around, she started bringing forth life too. She licked and licked at that salt brine, and her tongue grew warm, for she had to lick hard to make enough food for Ymir and his brood now, a growing brood of Jotuns. And under her warm tongue, right under the ice, a head of hair sprouted on the briny brim. And as she went on licking, a face appeared. Well, that
What now?
a face. And that cow went right on licking, and shoulders and chest came forth, then legs. And at last, out stepped a whole new creature. He was straight and tall and quite handsome, and he looked nothing like the Jotuns or the trolls. And he had a son who was even more handsome after he married a lovely Jotun wife. And this Jotun wife bore 3 sons who were so fair that a radiance spread from them and lit up the darkness all around them. And these were the first of the gods, the Aesir gods. And one of them we've talked about already. One of them is Odin. Another is Honor, and the other is Loder. And they represent spirit, will, and warmth. And they were high and they were holy, and guess what? They were so powerful that they could create a world. But Ymir was so wild and so against the Aesir gods that they couldn't create this world until they got rid of Ymir. Because as he got older and older, he grew wilder and wilder. So the Aesir gods had to go a battle against the age-old Jotun. So they pushed his huge hulk into Gigungagap. And so much brine flowed from his wounds that it filled the pit and flooded over the rim. And the cow and all Ymir's offspring were drowned except for 2. And those 2, a very strong Jotun and his mate, they clambered up onto the ice floes and they went to live on the wild outer shores of the sea that were made by Ymir's brine. Now the Aesir did not pursue them, and almost right away, this icebound wilderness, Jotunheim, was teeming with their offspring. These uncouth Jotuns and trolls hated the Aesir for what they had done to their kinsmen. They watched as the handsome gods made a new world, and they raged among themselves. And we'll find as we hear more stories of the Norse peoples that the Jotuns are kind of always causing trouble for the Aesir gods. So in our picture that we'll draw later, if you look closely, maybe I'll share my screen now. I'm going to share this photo. Can you guys all see that? If you look down here in the bottom, there's Gugungagap. And we've got Muspelheim on one side and Niflheim on the other. And
Yeah.
Jotunheim is up here. We're going to
Yeah, I've seen that before. Because we've had a Norse mythology book, and it had this like main map thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, me too.
Different worlds, right? And so we can continue our story and hear about these other worlds. But just to put it in perspective, right? Here's what we started out with down here on the bottom.
When you were reading,
Yep.
When you were reading, I did a drawing.
You did?
Drawing, yeah. Not of the tree, but it's of something of Thor's.
His hammer.
Yeah, well, I
So I
can't see
can,
myself. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this.
very cool. We will read
I
about
did a flower there.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So I think we have time to hear about the creation of the rest of these worlds. So the Aesir lift Ymir's body out of the sea, and they make Midgard. That's the land in the middle. That's the earth. And his flesh becomes the soil, and his bones become the mountains, and his teeth become the boulders and the stones on earth. They pushed desolate Niflheim deep underground, where the icy fog could not freeze the earth. And over land and sea, they set Ymir's huge skull as the dome of the sky. So the sparks of Muspelheim would not set the new world on fire. They caught from the sparks and they fastened them to the dome, creating a sun and moon. The sun and moon could not give us night and day because they were just fixed to the dome. But guess what? Those Jotuns were so angry that now there was light in the world that they, who could disguise themselves into anything they wanted, 2 of them disguised themselves as wolves. And they began to chase the horses who were holding on to the carts with the sun and the moon in them. And as they chased them, the sun and the moon began to make an arc across the sky. And forever and ever, the wolves couldn't catch them, but the sun and the moon could never slow down either. And so that is how the Norse people explain what? Noon and dawn and dusk. The world. Other gods, the Vanir gods, who lived in a neighboring world, Vanaheim, and they ruled over rain and soft winds. So they brought this soft wind. So now we've got the sun and the moon, and we've got soft winds and rains coming over Midgard, the earth. And as that rain fell and the warm rays of the sun touched Midgard, the stubble of Ymir's beard began to sprout green as grass, and his hair grew into deep forests, and there were pine and fir and birch and oak trees, and it was a beautiful fresh green earth. And now the Aesir began to people it. So we've got the Aesir gods, and we've got the Vanir gods, and we have, who else do we have? The Jotuns living in Jotunheim, yes? Well, now the Aesir gods make light elves. These are shining creatures, bright as sunbeams with wings of gossamer. They're gentle and they're good, and their homes are not on earth, but rather high up in the air in the world of Alfheim. Love it, Simone. In which is another world that the Aesir gods made for the elves. Now, deep down in the earth, between Muspelheim and Niflheim, there were worms burrowing deep into the ground. And the Aesir changed these worms into gnomes. These gnomes were down underground in the ore-rich earth, and they were given tools so they could mine the metals and the precious stones. And the caves rang with the sounds of their hammers. And the gnomes, though, they weren't friendly. They were kind of grumpy, and they were a little tricky, and they hobbled about, but nonetheless, they were marvelous miners and marvelous smiths, and they kept the Aesir well supplied with gold and silver and iron from the earth. And then the Aesir made sprites and spirits to inhabit the land and the sea, to care for the hillocks and the mountains and lakes and waterfalls. And finally, they made the fish and the birds, and they made animals. And they looked around, and they were really pleased with what they had done with Midgard and how they had set the different beings in their different worlds. But you know what they didn't have? They didn't have anyone to worship them. And so they decided to create people. And we will leave the story of how they created people till next week. So snap, snap, snap. My tale is told. Okay? So, So I have a blank piece of paper, and I have my crayons.
Then why do you always?
Does Finn want to get a piece of paper and draw too?
Yeah, I finished this house.
Does anybody like my picture?
What?
Awesome, Simone. So for our drawing, I want you to picture sort of the middle.
What the heck? Start video. Okay.
I want to do that. Sorry. I want you to picture the middle being where our Midgard is going to be.
No way.
What? It's just wait. Oh, it was just wait for some reason.
No, I don't know what just happened either. I want you to picture the middle of your paper as being where Midgard is going to be, and right in the middle, you're going to have your tree. Dome.
Can you get up that picture again that you had a little bit ago of the thing?
I sure will. Okay, so I just want you to kind of get thinking about this being our underground, this being our middle, and then the top being our sky with a few of the worlds up there.
Yeah.
So our picture is going to be more like a diagram. Here's my photo. Picture. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Everyone see that well enough?
Yeah.
I started with purple down at the bottom to make our Gagunga gap. And I made Gagunga gap right in the center, right at the bottom. I didn't draw the dome. I just kind of started shading out so I could get it to the size that I wanted it.
I need my thing. You don't have
Oh, you can see right down at the bottom, I've got my little purple.
Well, let's go get them because I don't know where you have them.
Oh my goodness, this table's not big enough.
I was
Put you
send this photo by email to your parents. So if you don't finish, that's okay. You can just look at the diagram and fill in and label it later, okay?
I've done this so far. I made a little picture so far.
I got the very bottom.
Okay, does everyone have Gagunga Gap?
No,
No?
no.
All right, let's make our Gagunga Gap, our little kind of purpley bubble at the bottom.
I need paper. Where is paper?
I need some paper.
I need paper
Why do
and
you need paper?
You know, you can take.
See everyone.
I need one piece of paper for a picture thingy mabob.
Damar, do I have to write the name?
You know, I left all of the writing till the very end, and then I labeled things. So I think we should focus on the drawing, and then people can write in the labels maybe when we're offline.
I wrote the purple part. Where should
Okay, so next, why don't you get an earth tone, some sort of a brown perhaps, or a burnt sienna. I wouldn't get a black because you want to be able to write in there.
I've got a brown.
Yeah, and then I just kind of went up from my Gagunga Gap and sort of shaded, sort of oval shape above it. And this is dark Alfheim, and who lives there? Does anyone remember? Who did they put under the ground? What did they transform? They transformed the worms to make
Gnomes.
Yeah. So dark Alfheim is where our gnomes are, working away, mining the precious metals. Okay. Once you have that done, you might want to get sort of a golden color. We've got Muspelheim. Nice work, Mackenzie. We've got Muspelheim to one side. That's our place of fire, right? So you can use warm colors like.
I have the yellow. I have a yellow, but I don't have a golden.
Okay, yellow or orange, and I've got some red flames.
I have a golden, but it doesn't look golden.
That's okay, right? So just some sort of warm color to contrast with the icy colors of Niflheim. And I'm gonna put some flames in my Muspelheim. Although my flames are kind of looking like flowering grasses or something, but.
I'm done.
Okay, on the other side, you can get a blue. It's a cool color.
A dark blue or a light blue?
You know what I did was I used this just a pure blue, and you can shade it as dark as you want, and then you can use it to press harder to make some icicles coming down into
I
the.
think I'm gonna use this kind of blue.
All right.
Not there yet.
That's okay. I'm still working too. I'm gonna make some icicles coming down. How are we looking? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Almost there.
I can show you.
Yeah. Very nice.
I literally just started.
All right, well, you know, just start from the bottom up, and whatever you finish today is fine. And then if you can finish some after we get off, that's fine too.
Mine do I. I put flames in as well.
What's that?
I put flames in as well.
For the icicles, then what should we do?
Okay, so as everybody's has their sort of underworld happening,
Yeah.
they're much smaller in this picture, but then you can take a green. Very nice, Mackenzie. It's looking good. How you doing, Adrian?
Good.
Awesome. So you can take a green, and what I did was I came out with sort of arcs around where dark Alfheim is, sort of around here, to give myself some shape for where I want to put my tree. Does that make sense?
Sure.
You see that? So then once you have your sort of arc there, you can take a brown or whatever color you want your tree trunk to be.
Should we color in the arc?
Not yet. So you can put your green down once you've got your arc. So then you can see sort of where you'd like to place your tree roots, right? In the center of your little circle that you started there. So you're going to want to take your brown and twist up to make a tree. And you can just start it as a little squiggle like that and then just keep building out and building out till you've got a thick trunk that you like and some roots that you like and some branches that you're happy with.
My trees don't look that good.
I can't believe that that's true. You just kind of, you can always just, if you just start from the center and build out, then you can make it as thick as you want. You can stop when you're happy with it.
My tree is kind of curved.
That's all right. Some trees are curved, right?
Yeah, but
Neighbors.
can you wait a second? I just need to sharpen my pencil.
Sure.
Oh wait, never mind. It's in this drawer. I'm underneath my bed, and it's a desk. It's got drawers.
Handy.
I can't use my desk because I put the laptop on the desk.
I'm under my bed.
Yeah.
Cozy.
This is my.
Can you see me?
What?
I can see you.
Any of you see me?
I can see you.
I can't because of the mode I'm in right now.
I'll be right back.
Okay, now I can see you.
Okay, and then we just do the green for the tree on the top.
Green around it. I took a light green and then I added some yellows. But you can do some green around your branch.
I can't mix because I'm using Sharpies. Stare.
You have something under that paper? Okay, good.
So here's where I am. Just trying to fill out my tree with some green.
So I've got this so far.
Very nice.
Hey, I have a perfect mix of dark green and light green on my crayons.
Not that far.
What's that?
I'm not that far into my tree.
That's okay.
I finished mine.
Okay,
Well, I finished my tree.
okay.
Now can I do Midgard?
I would color in your circle, yep, and add some grass down there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And then you can make your Midgard line to separate it from the other worlds. Sure. Oh, did Neum hop off?
I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention.
Me either.
Neum.
I'm gonna add some flowers around
not
my
off.
tree. I'm gonna add flowers.
Awesome. Good idea. And I'm going to make my sort of horizon line for Midgard.
Honey, you able to save picture?
She has to.
Oh,
I don't know how to. You have to take a screenshot.
Hey, I drew my tree. Now what am I supposed to do?
Now I got it around the tree. I'm now just gonna do the top.
Okay.
Wait, what should I do? I finished my tree now.
Did you do the leaves yet, Simone?
What do you mean?
Put some green around your branches. It's not good. You can color in the circle at the bottom to make some grasses.
I did that too.
Okay, then you can make your sort of horizon line for Midgard and color Midgard in. I colored it in like a pale green. Do you see what that is? Or you can see it on the drawing right here in the center.
Wait, where? Like next to the tree?
Next to the tree, we're gonna fill it in sort of light greens, maybe
Like-
add some yellows, some dark greens.
It'd be like right here.
So you give yourself a line right here. So that this is gonna be your Midgard area. And then we're gonna fill in sort of the heavens.
Okay, I just did Midgard.
Awesome.
What
If
do I do next?
Midgard section, you can take purple like I did, or maybe you see the icy dark mountains in a different color. But we're going to do Jotunheim. Over there
Okay.
on the left of my drawing, you see those purple mountains that kind
Yes.
of go from the left side of the page all the way to the tree?
Mhm.
You can make some mountains there for where the Jotuns, the giants, live.
Yeah, I did that, and I did the yellow mountains too.
Okay. So give me a second.
I'm getting there.
Okay. After that, Kieran, you can make your rainbow going from the purple mountains over to the orange mountains. And that's just red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Simone, I have a question for you. My sister's been wanting to do a Zoom meeting with her class, and I was wondering if you can ask your dad if he's okay with that.
Yeah. He might be able to because he's working from home now. But he might be able to.
So how's everyone doing? Adrienne, where are you?
I'm making the orange mountains.
Nice.
My cat's being my inspiration.
Your cat is inspiring you? Is it Alfie again?
Yeah. You go kitty.
Bandit's more scared. Even though Bandit came to me when I was over there and he said I'm jealous that he never does that with you.
Okay. Mackenzie, how's your drawing coming along?
Can I do elf helm now?
You can.
That's what I think. I have a cat named Jakes. I think you would be better handling with him.
Okay, I'm done with the orange and yellow mountains.
Okay, so now you can make,
I'm very far behind.
that's okay. You can finish it when we're off the Zoom. I'll send over the picture and you can fill it in.
Should I do the rainbow now?
Do the rainbow next,
My
yeah?
Okay.
does not look very good at all.
Oh, Simone, I doubt that. I bet it's beautiful.
No, just the colors. I accidentally used orange.
For what?
I thought it was yellow for the Midgard. I accidentally.
Oh, that's okay. Why don't you can also try to layer it with more colors. You have pencils, colored pencils?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if you can color it and add some other colors to it, some greens. Maybe make some flowers.
This is as far as I've got so far.
Lovely. Here's where I am. I'm just starting on my rainbow.
I'm no idea.
Thank you for the rainbow.
I'm finishing my rainbow.
You're finishing your rainbow?
Yeah, I'm starting my rainbow.
I'm on green.
Is the rainbow the last thing?
Very close. We still have to put in Alfheim, which is really just color.
So you do the two things next to the tree, and then what do you do?
You did Midgard. Did you color in your Midgard on either side of the tree?
Yeah.
Okay, so then on the left side of your paper, from the left side over to your tree, you're gonna make some purple mountains for Jotunheim.
I also see yellow and orange mountains though.
Over on the right, there are yellow and orange mountains, it's true.
Stop eating my pencil, cat.
So you can do purple on the one side, yellow and orange on the other, or whatever colors appeal to you.
I'm done.
You're done. Let me see. Let me see.
My thing's gonna be way. My things are way too low.
No, I don't think so. Mine are pretty low too. And then I'm gonna put Alfheim over here. And I'll put Vanaheim over here. And Gimli, which is like the heavens, will be right there in the center.
May have accidentally done it backwards.
That's okay.
I am done.
You are done, huh?
Well, I just had to put the name things in.
Well, if you want to start writing them, you can. Otherwise, let's give people a couple more minutes. And then whatever we get done, we get done. And whatever we don't have done, we can finish on our own.
The problem is that the laptop is at 1%. So I might have to charge it back up and join again.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to be done by 2.
Oh, geez.
So let's just take a couple more minutes, everyone, to draw whatever you can.
I'm all done with my
That's a lot.
rainbow.
I did my mountains, and now I need to do my rainbow.
Perfect.
Should I do?
Yeah, do Alfheim, which I did sort of in gold, and Vanaheim, I just colored in sort of a blue.
Okay.
And I forget what I used for Gimli because I kind of cut that off.
Wait, is Gideon above the rainbow?
Of the rainbow. My photo apparently was not very good. We can make that orange. How about that? And then you can color your sky whatever color you want under the rainbow. For some reason, I did green. I don't know why. I was feeling it.
What's Alpine's color?
Alfheim is like a gold or a yellow, maybe.
I'm
Think
gonna mix orange and, well, not orange and red, sorry, orange and yellow.
Sure. Think about elves and how sprightly and light they are, right? And think of a color that might remind you of them.
I found my yellow.
For Alfheim. And then for Vanaheim on the other side, they're the gods of rain and the soft wind. So I use blue for them.
I'm not almost done. I'm doing the rainbow.
Okay. You are right on schedule, Simone. You're doing great.
Okay, I'm all done.
You're all
Oh wait, almost done.
Oh, that's much easier.
Nia, how are you doing, sweetie?
Not ready.
Me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Okay.
What's the color of the top of the rainbows one?
I need to see if you're in.
I used orange.
Just regular orange?
Yeah, I used just regular orange.
Oh, you're not.
Let me see if I can push this. So there's mine.
Meow. The picture says meow. So no, it isn't.
All right. Did we lose?
Why?
What do I do on the sides of the rainbow?
I'm not muted.
You're going to put Alfheim on one side in like a gold or yellow, perhaps. That'll be the elf's world.
I think I'm gonna. Can I use 2 different colors for it?
Sure can. Whatever makes you think of elves.
Ta-da! This is what I've done.
That looks fantastic.
I need to go sharpen my pencils again.
You know what? I think we're going to stop drawing together just so we have time for a riddle story and rosebuds and thorns.
Okay, I'm all done.
You
Riddle story.
Not done
Can you
now.
see mine?
fine. You can finish it when we're not here. I will send this picture, the one that I did today or the one that I did.
This is mine.
Story.
You know what would be great? If when you guys are done with yours and you labeled them, if you could send me a picture or share a picture to the class on email, that'd be lovely. So that we could see all of our pictures of the Norse world.
Okay.
Take that.
So,
By the,
what's that?
by the way, what was funny is like all of my Dungeons and Dragons books have the exact things you just said. They have a cold giant in it. They also have elves and gnomes.
Mm-hmm. People who write the stories for Dungeons and Dragons are definitely greatly influenced by Norse mythology. as was like J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote the Hobbit books and the Lord of the Rings. There's a lot of Norse mythology through that, Germanic mythology through those stories. So once you know about the Norse gods,
Wait,
Hey, Dad.
what's that place on the other side of the tree?
it's Vanaheim,
Okay.
Vanaheim. Okay, so before we leave, I know we always like riddle stories, so I'll tell you the next one from this book. It's called Two Horses. Can I stop sharing my screen, or do you guys?
The name of the city in California that ends in
like put my finger there.
I'm gonna go mute myself.
And then make the screen like completely.
Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing so that we can do the story together. And
I finished drawing because I had to get the charge cord and plug it back in because I had to label my thing.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do though is I'll send the picture to everyone by email.
Okay.
And label it later. That way we have time for a riddle.
I only got Alpha in.
Oh, that looks great. I love it. These are going to be terrific. I also had mentioned, Kieran, that if you guys could take a picture of your finished Norse worlds, share them on email, that would be terrific. So we can
but up at the top, right above the rainbow, like right there, what's that area? Right above the rainbow. Not here or here, right above the rainbow. What is that area?
It's Gimli, Gimle. So before we go, let's see if we can solve this quick story. It's called Two Horses. Simone.
I did Gim. What's the Gimle?
What's been funny is with the riddle stories, you have to think outside the box.
You really do. So everybody put your thinking caps on. Try to think outside the box for this one.
Okay, this guy's gonna do my thinking caps for me.
Okay, so how about everyone mutes themselves so that everyone can hear the story. There was once a king who had 2 sons. When he grew old and close to death, he sent for his sons. I want you to ride your horses to Jerusalem. The one whose horse arrives last will inherit everything I own. Well, these 2 princes mounted their horses, but since each knew his horse had to arrive last if he was to win, both sons rode as slowly as they possibly could. One was forever trying to lag behind the other. When they finally reached the outskirts of Jerusalem, both sons stopped. Neither dared go a step closer for fear of getting there first, and thus letting the other one arrive last and inherit the kingdom. They sat for a day, then 2 days. They sat for a week and began to feel as if they'd spend the rest of their lives sitting at the edge of Jerusalem with nothing to their names. Then suddenly both sons had the same idea. They each jumped on a horse and rode to Jerusalem as fast as they could go. What made them change their minds and find a way to end the competition? Okay, Silas, what's your idea?
'Cause it took forever.
They just patient, you think?
What other answers could there possibly be? Like, they sat there for weeks and months and days, weeks. I mean,
what I was thinking is just they just got bored of going slow and they just wanted to race. So they just raced each other the way there.
They went at the same time.
They went at the same time. Let me read one thing that might give you a clue. What the king actually said was, I want you to ride your horses to Jerusalem. The one whose horse arrives last will inherit everything I own.
They walked in.
Maybe.
They took different horses.
They took different horses.
Oh, one hopped on the other's horse and drove it in.
Yep. Each jumped on his brother's horse to finish the race. If one could ride the other's horse to the city first, it meant his own horse would arrive last, and he would inherit the kingdom.
Can you see my thinking cap?
I saw your thinking cap. It's very unique, Simone. That was a pretty clever way to win the bet, huh?
But does Elfie like it?
All right, we've got about 5 minutes left. So does anyone want to share roses, buds, and thorns?
It's a
Yep.
thinking cat.
I totally forgot what the rose, the bud, and the thorn is.
Sure. So rose is something that you're enjoying, that you're loving, that's something good that's going on, something that's going right for you. Your bud is something you're looking forward to. And your thorn is something that is a negative, right? Something that's not your favorite. So let's start with Silas. Do you want to start? Everyone else, you? And Silas can start us off with a rose, a bud, and a thorn.
I forgot what that is again.
Rose is something that you love, something that's happening that's great in your life that you want to share.
Mm-hmm.
And a bud is something you're looking forward to. And a thorn is something that you don't like, or something that's making you.
I don't like Finn doing this.
You want that to be your thorn? All right, what's your rose?
And I rose it. I don't know.
Okay. Do you want time to think about it? Is anybody ready with a rose, a bud, and a thorn? All right, Simone.
Well, my rose is that we get to stay home and spend time with our kids. And my thorn is that we're stuck at home. And
That is that last time.
yeah, I know.
I think that might be the thorn that we say every week.
My bud is that we're going to that hopefully, since I learned how to ride my bike last year, we can take a bunch of family bike rides this year. 'Cause we always do that, but I didn't know how to ride my bike last year, so I hope we can this year.
That sounds great. Is anyone else ready with a rose and a bud and a thorn? Okay, Adrian.
Okay, so my rose is that we rented an Airbnb for 2 months. So I really like that. And my bud is that I'm teaching my sister ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
And my thorn, I don't know what my thorn is.
Guys, I missed the rest of the story. What was it?
Oh,
Because it died again. So
oh,
I was right at the end, right before you told the thing,
oh, okay.
right before you told the answer.
Okay, well, the answer was that each of the brothers hopped on the other one's horse and then rode because whoever got there first would actually be the winner because the horse would get there last.
I have my rose, bud, and thorn ready.
Roses, buds, and thorns. Adrian, are you done? Did you have a thorn or no thorn?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Mackenzie's ready with a rose and a bud and a thorn.
Well, my bud is spending a lot more time with my dad because he used to be out for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm, that's awesome.
And my bud is lasagna. We have some cooking. I want my lasagna. And my thorn, you haven't seen yet, but with the whittling knife, I cut myself real bad on my finger, and it hurts still to push anything on it. It just hurts generally.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I hope that heals really quickly.
It's better. It doesn't hurt as much as before.
Okay.
Can I go?
Yep, Karen, you can go.
Is it Rose, Bud, and Thorn? Yeah, for my Rose, I've been reading the Mac B Kids Spy series by Mac Barnett. And he's been doing things on Instagram. He's been doing read alouds. He was doing them live, but he's not doing them live. You can just go on Mac Barnett, and he does. One day he reads one of his books, and then at 5 o'clock California time, because he lives in California, he reads a chapter of the Mac B Kids Spy books. One of those.
Fun. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, for my bud, I don't really know. Just want all of this to be over and summer and break and time to get together with cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
And Thorn, I don't know. Same as last time. Just saying,
Go out if you want to, right?
yeah.
All right, Niam, you're last. You haven't gone yet. Do you have a rose and a bud and a thorn?
It's 201.
You have to think now. You have
It's 201.
Yep. So we're about done, but I want to give Niam a chance to share his rose, bud, and thorn.
My bud is that summer's coming,
Mhm.
and my thorn is that I like summer, except that there's like tons of bees and stuff.
Mhm.
And look,
There's like wasps that are literally living in like our neighbor's garage,
Mm.
what's your rose, sweetie?
which is
I'm fine with bees because we take care of them. We have bees.
So Niam, do you have a rose and a thorn?
and my rose is that I got a hamster. That was a long time ago, but it's still nice.
Mhm. You have a thorn.
That the bees are out in the summer.
See. Okay, well, everyone, it's been an hour, and it's been so good to see all of you. And next week on Tuesday, though, we'll start just doing it Tuesday.
Niam. Niam.
Oh,
Yeah.
Niam, do you not like the bees because are you allergic to them or you just don't like getting stinged or anything?
Yeah, I just don't like being stung, but like I'm not allergic to them, but yeah.
I mean, there's wasps that are living in our neighbor's garage, which is technically part of our fence, and they always like come after me, which is one of the really annoying things.
Mm.
And mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are really annoying too.
I agree.
Everyone's frozen again.
Bye. I guess I'll go.
Yeah, me too.
Bye.
I'm really, really hungry and I want my lasagna.
If you finish your pictures, post them on the email so we can all see them finished, and I will post a picture so that you can finish up. Okay? Bye. Miss you. See you next week.